Today we are going to be doing Lesson 5 over the nervous system. Let's begin with what we have learned. We know that the human body systems are interconnected, meaning that they work together and rely on each other. How are the skeletal system and the muscular system interconnected? Remember, the muscles are attached to the bones by tendons, and those muscles they contract or relax depending upon what they are needing the bone to do. Remember that it takes two muscles to make any bone move. One does the contracting, one does the relaxing. What do you recall about the different types of muscles? Remember that there are cardiac muscles that are found in your heart. You have skeletal muscles that are the ones that are connected to your bones that help your bones to move. And then you have smooth muscles, which are on the inside of your important body organs, like inside of your lungs, inside of your stomach. Those are all smooth muscles. Can you think of any other systems that might be interconnected with the muscular system? What is the difference in voluntary and involuntary muscles? Remember, voluntary muscles are the muscles that you tell to move. They're the muscles that move your bones. Your involuntary muscles are your cardiac muscle, like what's in your heart, and the smooth muscle, like what's in your stomach. You are not continuously telling your heart to pump, and you are not consciously telling your stomach to digest food. Those things happen whether you think about it or not. And did you know that cells are the building blocks of life? Cells make up tissue, and tissue makes up the organs. So here are some other things that we know. Today we're going to be learning about the system that controls all other body systems. The nervous system is closely interconnected with other systems in the human body. So a minute ago when we asked about which system might be interconnected with the muscular system besides the skeletal system, you could have said the nervous system. So let's think about what the nervous system controls and what important organs are related to the nervous system. So your purpose for listening today is to learn more about the nervous system and how it commands the interconnected human body systems. And listen for why the brain on Ricardo's shirt is the symbol for the nervous system. Listen for any new and interesting facts about the nervous system that you can add to your KWL chart. So let's look and begin our reading. Oops. Stand up and stretch with me a moment before we begin. Put your hands on your hip bones and bend forward as far as you can. Now, straighten back up slowly, one vertebra at a time. Ah, that's better. Now I'm ready to get started. Are you? As you sit back down again, think about the body systems you used to move just now. Did you use your skeletal system? You bet. How about your muscular system? Absolutely. Your muscles helped move your bones when you stood up and bent down. But how did your muscles move? What told them what to do? Your brain. And your brain is a part of a very important system. Does anyone know what that system is called? Yes, the nervous system. The nervous system is your body's command system, the one that sends orders to all parts of your body. It's your communication system, carrying messages that control all other systems. The central nervous system includes the brain and the spinal cord. Without these central controllers, none of your body's other functions would happen. So if I look at my picture here, I can see the brain, and then I can see the spinal column, and we can see all these little nerves that branch out. Your brain is a soft mass of tissue protected by your skull, a rigid helmet-like structure of bones encasing the brain. The spinal cord, the main nerve pathway between your brain and the rest of your body, looks like a long, thick rope. It extends from the base of your skull or brainstem all the way down to your tailbone. Stretching down the back, this rope-like cord weaves its way through openings in your back's bony vertebra. Your spinal cord is protected by your spinal column, this flexible column of vertebra. A network of nerves link your brain and spinal cord to muscles and sense organs all over your body. Each nerve is a bundle of fibers, tiny thread-like cells encased in thin, fatty tissue. These bundles of specialized cells carry messages to and from the brain. These messages travel faster than the blink of an eye. Some nerve cells collect messages from your brain and carry them to your muscles. This is what happens when you stood and bent over a few minutes ago. You consciously controlled your own actions with your brain. First, you made the conscious decision to stand, and your brain received that decision. Then, electrical signals were sent out from your brain along nerve fibers to your muscles, telling them to tighten or contract. For every movement that you make, your brain coordinates the timing of muscle contractions, telling your muscles when to tighten, how much to tighten, and for how long. Your nervous system works with your bones and muscles to follow your brain's command. Some nerve cells collect messages from parts of your body and from your environment and the world around you. These nerve cells are called receptors. Receptors collect messages through your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Each of your 5 senses work with your brain to help you understand the world around you. Eyes pick up light and color to send pictures to the brain to help you see. Ears pick up the vibration from sound waves, carrying them to the brain to help you hear. Sensory cells in the nose react to chemicals in the air, sending messages to the brain to help you to smell. Cells on the tongue react to chemicals in food, sending signals to the brain that help you to taste. Receptors in your skin detect many different sensations, alerting your brain and spinal cord to feelings of pain, heat, cold, pressure, and touch. Many times, nerve signals pass through both your brain and your spinal cord, but not always. Have you ever touched a hot iron or a hot pot on the stove? What happened? Most likely, you jerked your hand away from the heat very quickly, almost unconsciously. The nerves in your fingers sent signals to your spinal cord, but this time you did not need your brain at all. Your spinal cord sent a message to your arm muscles, telling them to contract and pull back. This super quick reaction to an emergency situation is called a reflex action, because the body acts automatically without thinking. Some of you may remember being at the doctor's office for a checkup when the doctor or nurse tapped your knee gently with a hard rubber tool called a plexor. Other common reflex actions are flinching and sneezing. Because a nerve is made up of many cells, nerves can send many messages at once. Each nerve cell sends its own message to the nerve. You've learned that some nerve cells collect messages from the brain, whereas others collect messages from the environment. Still, other nerve cells collect messages from inside your body. Inside the human body, the brain and spinal cord work together day and night, coordinating many activities that we really don't think about too often. For example, your breathing is controlled by the central nervous system. What else is going on under your skin that seems involuntary or automatic? Digestion, heart rate, and sleep patterns are all automatically controlled by the brain and spinal cord. Your emotions, moods, and memories are controlled and managed by the nervous system too. The body's command center, with its network of nerves, is always working, even while you sleep. Hundreds of billions of microscopic cells are sending messages that go dashing about your body at amazing speeds every second. Many of these cells are bundled up inside nerves, the body's wiring. These nerves branch out in all directions, carrying tiny electrical chemical signals from your brain and spinal cord to help the tips of your fingers and toes, to the insides of your eyes and ears, and to every other part of your body. Some nerves are much thinner than a strand of hair. Others are as thick as a bungee cord. All have an important part to play in the nervous system's non-stop communication process. The nervous system processes almost everything you do. It helps you laugh and scratch your chin. It helps you run and walk and swim. It lets you scream with anger and shout for joy. It lets you smell tomato soup simmering on the stove, hear squirrels rustling in the leaves, and see a brilliant sunrise peeping over the hill. Thank you, nervous system, for that tingling feeling that you get when you jump into a cold stream, or the instant pain you feel when you prick your finger on a rose's thorn. Whether you are 2 or 92, your nerves are a central part of everything you do. Next time, we'll look more closely at your body's control center, the brain. Let's pause for a riddle before I go. I am called a bone, but I'm really a nerve. My name suggests that I have a sense of humor. What am I? Give up? I'm the funny bone. Does anyone know where the funny bone is located? It's in a vulnerable nerve at the end of the elbow bone. If you hit that nerve at the end of your elbow, the nerve sends a tingly feeling up the rest of your arm. If you injure your funny bone, the result is anything but funny. It can be very painful, causing numbness in your forearm and hand. So as it turns out, the funny bone is not only not funny, but it's also not a bone at all. Be careful the next time you're wrestling with your friends. You won't be laughing if you hit your funny bone. Well, I'll be back next time to tell you more about your body's command center. Can you guess what I mean when I say command center? See you later. Okay, so our word work today is consciously and unconsciously. In the read aloud, we heard that you make voluntary decisions consciously, controlling your own actions with your brain. You also heard, most likely, you jerked your hand away from the heat very quickly, almost unconsciously. So to yourself and with me, say the word consciously, unconsciously, consciously, unconsciously. Notice the prefix un. That's going to help change the meaning of consciously whenever we add the un for unconsciously. Consciously is very similar to the word voluntary. It means something that was done on purpose or deliberately. You thought about it, you meant to do it. Unconsciously is very similar to involuntary. It means done without awareness or control. This is something that you was not thinking about, you just did. You did it unconsciously. So think, what kinds of things have you done consciously or unconsciously? Also, think about the part of speech that the word consciously and unconsciously might be. When you are finished, I'm sure you will have a vocabulary activity to do. If your teacher has shown you or told you where to pick up your vocabulary activity, please do so now. Until tomorrow. Ta ta.